It's finally happened. The inevitable outcome of legalized commercial surrogacy is upon us. We are now openly selling human babies to known pedophiles. If you haven't kept up with the news this week, something truly vile has taken place. A disgraced internet celebrity named Shane Dawson has announced on Instagram that he and his partner have welcomed twin baby boys via surrogacy. A major life event that has once again divided the internet down the middle, with one side condemning the industry that would allow this to happen, and the other congratulating the shady character on his acquisition of two innocent children who will undoubtedly suffer abuse at his hands. So who is Shane Dawson? Shane is an ex-YouTuber who was notoriously cancelled in 2020 after his wildly inappropriate behavior and comments, especially toward children, resurfaced online. Most notably was a shocking clip from the Shane and Friends audio show in 2014, where the then 25-year-old man justified pedophilia and compared it to a foot fetish.
Here's my thing. People have foot fetishes. People have fetishes about, everything. Fine, everybody do your thing. So why is it when somebody looks at Google's like naked baby on Google and jerks off to it, they can get arrested? I don't understand
because
that. Here's the worst part of it. I actually went to Google and I'm like, I don't want to see.
You could get arrested.
I know, but I just wanted to see like, okay, let me pretend like I'm a pedophile for a sec. So I typed in naked baby. First of all, they were sexy.
Shane also once posted a video in which he pretended to masturbate while looking at a picture of 11-year-old Willow Smith. Of course, many have jumped to the defense of Shane, claiming he was young and stupid at the time, that he said inappropriate things for shock value, and that all of us have made mistakes in our past. But Shane's history of pedophilic behavior does not end with comments and jokes. What many aren't aware of is that Shane also has a history of sexually exploiting minors. Here's a video that surfaced of Shane telling two 12-year-old girls to entertain his child molester followers.
And Lucy, I checked my statistics and I have a lot of child molesters watching, so can you please eat a cocktail weenie? Do it slow. Oh.
I like that chocolate, that weenie. Ooh, it tastes so good.
Okay, give her a lap dance.
All you ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. All you ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. Just do it, do it, do it, do it now. Lick it good, suck this pussy just like you should. Right now, lick it good, suck this pussy just like you should.
Ooh, she's getting crazy with it.
My head, my back, lick my pussy and my crack.
I blow everybody a kiss like you're a mermaid. That was the worst kiss I've ever seen. That was terrible. I would never have sex with you.
And here's another of him urging one of his young fans to twerk for him on camera.
I love you too. Can you twerk for us? I know twerking is insane.
Oh, I love you too.
Oh, I love you too. No, shut up and twerk. Maybe she can't hear us. Give it.
Okay.
Twerk for us.
Oh,
here we go. She's moving front and center.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now tell her to show herself.
Now, this type of degenerate behavior doesn't spring into existence out of nowhere. Commonly, sexual offenders were abused themselves, and Shane appears to be no different. He has admitted to being molested as a child and to molesting other children himself. Shane also recounted the story of his first sexual experience, where he claims he raped his cat.
One time, I laid my cat down on her back.
Are you gonna get arrested for this?
I don't know. No.
Think about it.
I don't think so.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't penetrate. I laid the cat down on her back, and then I moved her little chicken legs, like, spread open or whatever. And I was like, if I just hump, but on her tummy, that's not weird. Whatever. And then I humped it, and it kept going. And I came all over the cat.
No, you did not.
It was my first sexual experience.
No
I was also
way.
19, so it's weird.
So all of this begs the question, how does a degenerate of this magnitude, who exhibits such clear-cut characteristics of a high-risk sexual predator, get his hands on twin babies? Well, because unfortunately, the exploitation and blatant disregard for the well-being of children is built into the very foundation of commercial surrogacy. This is Jessica Kern. She discovered at the age of 17 that she was purchased from her biological surrogate mother, and she offers a unique and often untold perspective on the surrogacy debate. She said it best with the following quote: "I think commercial surrogacy is wrong. It really is the buying and selling of babies and the commodification of women's bodies. There's a huge difference between the adoption world and the donor-conceived world. The institution of adoption was not created primarily for the benefit of people wanting to be parents. It was created for the opposite, for the benefit of children, to respond to the catastrophe of children already here but with no parents or family and who need a loving home. With commercial surrogacy, on the other hand, we're creating and bringing children into the world with the deliberate intention of separating them from their biological mother. My own life is a perfect example of what can go wrong when science and the culture of entitlement meet, pitting the selfish desires of adults against the ultimate well-being of children. And that culture of entitlement is exactly what led to the story of Britney Pearson, one of the worst surrogacy stories I've ever come across. In July of this year, Britney was hired as a surrogate by a homosexual couple looking to create the perfect designer family. While pregnant, Britney received a breast cancer diagnosis and decided to deliver the baby early at 25 weeks so she could receive chemo treatment while giving the child a possible chance of survival. She said her thought was, "I want to keep this baby safe and bring it earthside." But the purchasing couple didn't want to pay Britney for a baby born before 38 weeks due to the potential health problems of a premature baby. They demanded the baby be immediately terminated. When Britney refused to kill the baby, they threatened legal action. When she offered to adopt the child herself, they demanded a death certificate. Britney has described her experience as a surrogate as feeling like a rented-out uterus. Surrogacy laws in California gave no rights to Britney or the baby. She was able to deliver the baby at 25 weeks, but the purchasing couple had ownership of the child after birth. They ordered that life-saving care be withheld. The baby boy died shortly after. This story cuts especially deep because, as many of you know, I gave birth to my daughter at 29 weeks, just 4 weeks after this baby boy was discarded like trash. And as someone who spent a total of 41 days in the NICU, I can tell you from firsthand experience just how good a baby's chances of survival are at 25 weeks gestation. But to the two men who were financially invested in their perfect dream baby, not a day under full term was good enough. When a woman is pregnant with a child, that child literally becomes part of her. The baby cells migrate throughout her body in an occurrence scientists call microchimerism, and those cells remain inside of her long after the baby is born. Once the baby cells cross the placenta and pass to the mother's bloodstream, they circulate in her body and embed themselves in her tissues. In animal studies, it was found that when a mother rat's heart was injured, the fetal cells migrated to her heart and differentiated into heart cells, helping repair the injury. In other words, a baby can literally heal their mother of a broken heart. In turn, the mother is flooded with hormones that so intensely bond her to that baby that she will, without hesitation, kill or be killed to protect them. It's a symbiotic relationship like no other, and when you disrupt that relationship, when you take biology out of the equation, infants are more often than not treated as a product. And when that product is defective, people behave exactly as you would imagine, like they've been duped, cheated, they become hostile, and demand a refund. Even the high-profile celebrities who have done their part to popularize commercial surrogacy have spoken out about the difficulty of bonding with a surrogate baby. Khloe Kardashian spoke candidly about her experience with surrogacy. She said, "It's a very hard time for me. It's a mind f***. It is really the weirdest thing. I love him and I love kids, but I definitely don't have that complete bond. I felt really guilty that this woman had just had my baby. I wish somebody was honest about surrogacy and the differences of it. Former NSYNC member Lance Bass has also spoken about his experience with surrogacy. He said, "The first year, they wouldn't give me any love. They never hugged, they never wanted to snuggle, and I was so upset about it, because they would do that with my mom. My mom would come over, and boom, they'd snuggle with her." Funny how Lance mentions how difficult it was for him, never once taking into consideration how difficult it must have been for the babies. We can sympathize with people suffering from infertility without exploiting the bodies of desperate women and denying children their birthright. Because children are not a right. They're a blessing, and the moment we lost sight of that was the moment we opened the door to a world of atrocities. The slippery slope is not a fallacy. There are certain bridges we should never cross because the opportunity for exploitation is much too great. That's why commercial surrogacy is banned in almost every country in the world. The European Union has even recently taken the step of classifying surrogacy as a form of human trafficking and has banned it to prevent the exploitation of women's bodies and the commodification of children. You know, it's really strange. If I were to give birth tomorrow, decide I no longer want the baby, and sell it to my neighbor, almost everyone would agree that I should face prison time. But if that same neighbor handed me a wad of cash to conceive a baby and then hand it over to him, suddenly I'd be committing an act of altruism. In every other instance, premeditation warrants harsher punishment for a crime. But for some reason, in the case of human trafficking, it renders the crime completely permissible. All is well in the upside down, I guess.